Welcome to functions part 2. That's how important functions are, as we need two literal breakups of them. It's also, as an instructor, really tough to determine which part goes into part 1 and part 2. I can honestly tell you that I've laid notes out and try to figure out which is best. So are you going to see a lot of repeats in this? The answer is yes, and I'm okay with that because frankly, it'll make you feel a little bit more comfortable with the material that we're going over. But I'm going to re-emphasize why we're using functions, and that's reusability, but I'm also going to start talking more about parameters as we're passing them in. I know you saw them before. You had some idea what they're doing, but here's the bad part. C++ makes it a little bit more interesting. So as we're talking about reusability, we've talked about we can use the same function over and over again. We only have to create it once in code, call it and reuse it over and over again, this time with different parameters to give us different results. Matter of fact, I went over the example of get the average of 3, almost like the first couple of pages of the functions 1 set of notes. So nothing is really any different, but now we're going to be exploring how do we pass in those values in functions part 2. So what is a function doing below doing? We've talked about that before, if you've seen it before, of getting the average of 3. And determine the answer of each of those. Well, the middle one, the top one's going to be 6. The middle one's going to be 9, 12, what about 14, 13? But anyway, and the last one's going to be 20. So bear with me on that second one because I'm doing it by my head. But anyway, reusability, and now we're going to start focusing on passing a parameter.